Hello and welcome to the London Free Press podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Gilbert. Family and friends are mourning the death of London Knights forward Abakar Kazbekov. The 18-year-old died on Saturday. Sources told the London Free Press that his death occurred downtown, where London police closed an intersection Saturday morning after a body was found outside a luxury condo building near Talbot and Dufferin. So today I'm talking with London Free Press sports reporter Ryan Pyette about what Kazbekov meant to the London Knights, his friends, and his family. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. Yeah, it's been a tough week.
It's been a tough week, yeah, for you and the Knights and everyone who loved Kazbekov. Let's just talk about his journey for those who maybe don't know that much about him. His journey to Canada and what brought him here. He's from Russia, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. His family was living. He has a real big family with a lot of brothers and sisters, and they lived in Moscow. And about 5 years ago, they had a talented hockey player in their family named Gadzi, which is Abakar's older brother. And they, like a lot of kids in Russia, they see Canada win the World Junior Gold. They see a lot of Canada, like how many great players the country produces, and they say, "Hey, that would be a good place to play." And that's where this kind of started. And now there's the last 10 or 12 years, I'd say there's been a lot of Russian players who are leaving the Russian minor hockey system and they're coming over here to join the Canadian minor hockey system. A lot of them in the the first point of entry is kind of the Greater Toronto Hockey League, which is known around the world as one of the great minor hockey leagues in going. So
Hmm.
his brother came and played for the Toronto Red Wings, and then Abakar showed great promise as well. And after going through that, I think the family knew a little bit. They felt comfortable, right? They felt a little bit like Gadsey went through it. So they brought 3 years ago. They brought over Abakar. They said they have an agent, and they said we think he has the talent to play, and the dream was to play in the OHL, and then of course on to professional hockey, right? The NHL. All the kids, every kid that lace up skates wants to play in the NHL, right? So
Yeah.
um, they brought him over to Vaughan. They settled in the Toronto area, Richmond Hill. With people that a pipeline of people that had this experience before. Bringing in Russian players, and then from there, he ended up with the Vaughan Kings. Kind of, didn't really get going till about November, but was obviously an instant hit, as his coach Mark Filipponi said earlier in the week. That he was, he didn't know any English at all, and he became a great teammate, and that the kids on the team loved him. And as obviously they had a COVID year, so his year got cut short, right? And then it was the COVID year in his 16-year-old year. He didn't get drafted into the regular OHL. He wasn't eligible for that because he showed up not on time. There's complications with that, but he was eligible for the secondary OHL draft, which is the under 18 draft. That's for a kid. It's for kids that were missed, right? That still have the talent to play in the league. And he ended up. I don't know if people remember, but they had a lottery during COVID. They had a lottery, and the Knights lost the lottery, and they were way down. But by losing the lottery, they got the first pick in the secondary under 18 draft, and they used it to pick him. And because they saw great promise, and who better to than the hunters to look at a kid and see what he might become, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so that's how he ended up. He cracked the team out of a camp in on his first try in London, and has been here ever since. And I told the story. I mean, I saw him. He was a gentleman. He was a pleasant young man, as you'd say, what was pursuing the passion of playing hockey and trying to make it to the next level. And I talked about how when Kirill Steklov was here last year, and Ruslan Gazov was here the last couple of years, that Abakar's strength in gaining the English language, obviously, he spoke to the point where this year where not even an accent really. You couldn't. He sounded just like he had a Canadian accent kind of thing. So he really
Wow.
took to, and as family said, he really took to to being in Canada, and so he was translating for me when I wanted to talk to Ruslan Gazisov. After he scored a goal or something, we Abakar would be the intermediary. So I got to see him quite a bit, and just a great kid. What can you say, right?
Yeah, of course. Um, eh, 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 it's so hard because you never know what's going on in someone's life, but you saw him and you met him and he was lovely to you, right?
Oh yeah, like yeah, and most of the kids are because they know you're the media. Kind of
Sure.
that's the public face of things. But
Hmm.
you meet intense kids, you meet kids that are happy-go-lucky, and just a nice. And then you meet nice kids, and you meet troublemakers, right, along the way. And this is a nice kid that wanted to please everybody and be a great hockey player and
Sure.
just a wonderful person. And I think that's been backed up